I'm going to bring it to you first. Factor cap. CJ Stroud is a top 8 quarterback in the NFL.
What? See the notes? He didn't bamboozle me. He said bring a top 10 list. He wanted to put 8 in there. 8 guys better than Coleridge Bernard. Okay, so I was ready to say that he's a top 10 quarterback. Let's see. Right now, Coleridge Bernard, top 8. I'll say no. I'll say cap. I think he's top 10, so he's kind of like right outside. So those guys that I would take over him, Mahomie, Burrow, Hurts. I'll still take Josh Allen over him, even though he's playing really bad. Lamar. Who am I missing?
I love the sound effects also for our audio-only listeners.
I'll probably take, I already said, Joe Burrow. Oh, Herbert. I'll take him. When healthy, Aaron Rodgers is a guy that I think a lot of people will probably say. But I won't put him on this list right now because he's hurt, obviously. So I'll just say right now. But I did say Justin Herbert right now. Let's see. Let's go by it. Did I say Hurts yet? Yeah, Hurts. Probably Dak right now. I think Jared Goff is a guy that's been playing at a top 10 level right now, just based off of his numbers and what he's been putting up week in and week out. Would say Kirk too, but Kirk is hurt. So yeah, he's like 10. I think CJ's 10. He's like top 10. So for this segment, I'll say cap right now. I think he's better than Brock Purdy, in my opinion. Like, if the Niners had a chance to get CJ Stroud, they'd jump on it. So, I love Brock Purdy as my quarterback. If we had a chance to have CJ Stroud, I think everybody would jump at that opportunity. But I'll say cap. He's not top 8, but I think he's top 10. So he's like right outside.
All right, Shaun, I'm going to bring it to you next. Factor cap. CJ Stroud is a top 8 quarterback in the NFL.
This is a fact. I can't believe I'm saying it's a fact. It's a fact. And I promise you, Toddy, you probably will not believe me, but I promise you, this is me putting all of my Ohio State fan bias aside. And especially
probably
with the little... Yeah, I could definitely see it by the end of the year, at least for your opinion, because in my opinion, it's already happened right now. I've seen enough. Top 8, and Kevin's always very strategic with these factor caps, like top 8 versus top 10. It's a good distinguisher on top 8 versus top 10. But just looking at the list of like the top quarterbacks in the NFL, I'd still take Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, a lot of the guys that Toddy already mentioned, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, taking all those guys over him. That's 6 guys. But if I also employ the caveat that Toddy mentioned about guys being hurt, guys like a Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, even a Matthew Stafford is hurt right now, then that's when I lean, I do think CJ Stroud is a top 8 quarterback. And so even if I don't count the guys that are hurt, then CJ's probably like number 8. And if I do count the guys that are hurt and leave them out, then CJ's probably like 6 or 7 for me. So this is a fact. I've already seen enough, and I'm usually the guy to try not to overreact, but to me, CJ Stroud, he's a top 8 quarterback in the NFL already. The names that we mentioned earlier, and I'll wrap this up, but the names that we mentioned earlier in terms of the discussion that he's putting himself in with a Jim Brown in the discussion of, I don't think it'll actually happen, but even being involved in the discussion to win MVP as a rookie, and then, as Kevin mentioned with Dan Marino, possibly getting a vote, like you're putting yourself in the conversation with Hall of Famers. Yeah, to me, CJ Stroud is top 8 in the NFL already. This is a fact.
10 weeks in.
Crazy.
Long season.
Crazy.
Like Toddy said, 10 weeks in. Factor cap. CJ Stroud is a top 8 quarterback, and like Shaun said, this is a fucking fact. Let's just break down the numbers. 318 attempts, 2,626 yards, 9 yards per attempt, 15 touchdowns, and 2 picks. He has been the best deep ball thrower in the NFL of 20 yards plus. 147.5 passer rating, which leads the NFL. 6 touchdowns to 0 picks, which is the highest ratio in the NFL. 665 yards, which leads the NFL. 64% completion rate, which leads the NFL. CJ Stroud is on an elite list of quarterbacks that have lead the league in yards per game and turnover interception ratio. Can you guys name me those other 4 guys on this list that joined CJ Stroud?
Mahomes on there.
Mahomes is on there. He did that in 2019.
Jalen
Hurts on
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is not on there.
Herbert?
Herbert is not on there.
Burrow.
Nope.
That they still play like
No, both these guys no longer play.
Oh, Brady?
Brady did it in 2015.
Drew Brees.
Peyton Manning did it in 2013.
Oh, okay.
So, is he a top 8 quarterback? This is a fact. I'm only taking 7 quarterbacks over CJ Stroud. And like Shaun and Tali mentioned, they had injuries play into their list. I did not. I just did straight up outright. I have Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, and Lamar Jackson. And at 8, I have CJ Stroud. That's putting him over guys like Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, Kirk Cousins, and I stand on it. Because like I mentioned, we are talking about the team with the 2nd overall pick. Having hope in November, having something to look forward to. He is changing this town. He is changing this culture behind him and DeMeco Ryans. So he's an MVP candidate, like Shaun says. So he has to be a top 8 quarterback. So I'm going to have to go fact. I'm sorry, Toddy. I see it in your face. I saw you put in the OH. I know you think we're homers, but it's hard to go against